What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the shop. Doing another simple today. So we're going to be doing the cam follower gear on the MK6 Golf R. Let's get into it. For starters, here are the three things we're going to need. Here we got a fresh cam follower gear bucket, and then here we have the fuel pump mounting bolts. There is 3 of them. Here is the part number. I'll also include the part numbers in the description down below. And then we also have a new direct injection high pressure fuel pump O-ring. I'll include that part number down below as well. For starters, that cam follower gear is right here in this high pressure fuel pump. So we'll need to take out the 3 bolts to get to it. I'm going to take off the intake to give me some more space. I've done some reading and I've seen some people recommend, changing this cam follower at 20,000 miles, 10,000 miles, 8,000 miles. I'd definitely probably say personally, probably around the 10,000 mile mark, especially if this is something that you autocross or take to the track. We do need to drain some of the pressure that is in there. So first we'll pop off, kind of tuck this thing out of the way just a little bit if we can, if it'll let me. Yeah, it doesn't want to go anywhere. Okay, then I'll tack this rag under here. And then this is the little bleed port on the high pressure fuel pump. Damn it. We are going to bleed some of this pressure off. There we go. Not a whole lot came out, but just a little bit came out. Now there's no pressure on the high pressure fuel pump. Next, it is recommended to take off this bleed port. It's a 13 millimeter. And the reason you want to take off the bleed port is because that way you can access this Torx bolt right underneath it because it blocks it. We will pull this PCV hose as well. That way, yeah, I double O-ringed this. Rotate that out of the way. We'll pull this connector off. There we go. Just a little. Slide that off. Took it over there. Next on the list, we need to take off this fitting right here, going to the bottom of the high pressure fuel pump. And then there is a line, a little hard to see, a line with a clamp right in there on a rubber hose going to the bottom of the pump as well. Need to disconnect both of these. That way we can separate it. And then after that, we'll do these 3 bolts to take the pump off. It looks like, yep, this is the line is a 17. We'll crack that, nice. I'm gonna actually put my rag back under there to catch any excess fuel that's gonna flow out. Spin that off. Of course, the clamp is blocked by that lower fitting, so I'm gonna try and rotate it a little bit if it will let me. Here's the clamp, and you can see the ears are pushed right into this fitting right here. So sometimes other people who work on stuff do not make your life easier. I was able to work it to the front a little bit. There we go. Holy moly, that was tough. I'm probably gonna replace that clamp with one you actually tighten down, just because I had to mutilate it a little bit to get it loose. There we go, worked it off. So the next plan, I'm just gonna take the pump off and I'm going to leave that rubber line hooked up. Once I can pull the pump up some, I should be able to work it this way and rub that line, or use some clamps then to get the line off. Well, as cars go, as I start to try and separate this hose, one, I realized it was already kind of destroyed from being done previously before. And man, it does not want to break the seal at all to get off. So I'm gonna have to replace this hose. But this car has 120,000 miles, right? So it doesn't hurt to do these things anyway. Yeah, the hose is cracked in a bunch of places. Definitely seen better days. So just better we replace it while we can. There we go. As you can see, it runs right here. So I'm just gonna try and fight it off of this side now. Yeah, this thing's hard as hell as well. You can see got obliterated coming out. All right, so the old crusty line is out. A little bit of a pain, but it's worth replacing while you're doing it anyway. So I'll come over here to my trusty hose bin. So first I tried a 3/8 on the barb. Just a little bit too loose, yeah, because I have clamped it down. Then check kind of the inside diameter, and it looks like 5/16 is the best fit. 5/16 slips over this nice. There we go. So I will trim pretty much I'll stretch this out. I'll trim it to length right here, so that way we got a nice good hose, and then I'll replace these. I'm not really a fan of these style of clamps anyway, kind of a pain. I got 2 of them, so I'll use these instead, and that way they're just easier accessible compared to these kind of style of clamps. Change this O-ring on the high pressure fuel pump. Definitely recommended. And right in here is the cam follower gear, which we can take out. And you can see it's starting to wear on the face a little bit. I probably could have went a little bit longer. We'll take a glance at the cam, and the cam is looking good as well. First, what we're going to do is we're going to actually put just a tiny bit of assembly lube on the top. Fresh for, oh, of course I got it everywhere. Just a little bit on the top, and spread that around. Take a little bit of oil that's sitting right in here, and we will rub it all on the sides of the cam follower. And we'll toss that back on in there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put the clamp to the side over here. That way I can kind of go straight down or at a better angle at it. So I'm going to slip this hose on. Yep, there we go. It's snugged up good. And now, if I angle this just right off to the side, I can actually come straight down through this by the valve cover and fuel lines with my new fuel rated clamp. I can start working that down. Nice, perfect. There you go. As you can see, the hose is all the way snug, so I'll slip it back on, I'll put the bolts in, and I'll be able to work this clamp up to hopefully an angle like right on this side to make it much easier accessible. Alright, now we will work this clamp on. Scoot it up into position. Actually, right there. It's a pretty good straight on angle. It's hard to, a little bit. It's all the way up in there, and it's tight and it's good. Now I can put the feed line back on. There we go. Feed line popped right on. And we'll use the 17. Just do little turns. Now I can throw the bleed port back in. So the hard line's back on, the drain line is on, the bleeder port is on. We can plug in this connector, nice. And then my catch can line was a little bit in the way, so this one, this connector. Then I can put this PCV line back on. Good to go. Everything is buttoned up. Let's crank her on and check for leaks. There we go. It just took 2 goes at it because the fuel pressure pump didn't have any pressure in it or any fuel in it. Everything's looking good to go. I don't see it leaking at all. Well, that wraps this up. We got no check engine light. It's running good, minus that slight vacuum leak that I gotta fix. So make sure you like and subscribe and check out for future videos. Y'all have a good one now. Peace out.